Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday, guys. Welcome to the our first Sunday Night Live, I guess, of October. My goodness, we are well and truly officially into spring. How brilliant is this weather that we are having? That sunshine is absolutely gorgeous. And if you haven't caught on already, so I'm not live tonight. I had something on tonight. So I made sure that I pre-recorded so that you didn't miss out on the goods. But as I'm sitting here, it is some late Sunday afternoon, but the sun is shining. We've just been outside. We've got a new pet lizard that's found his way to living in our backyard with our rabbits. It's just a glorious day. I would really love to know in the comments below what you have got up to over this weekend, what you're doing for the long weekend. Are you outside enjoying the sun? As always, guys, hashtag live if you're watching on the Sunday night, hashtag replay if you're watching later. But yeah, tell us in the comments what you got up to this weekend in this beautiful sunshine. Or maybe tell us if you lost that hour of sleep or if it didn't really matter to you because you got a nice big sleep in today anyway. All right, tonight we're going to have a little discussion about the place of hunger on a weight loss journey. So tonight won't be a very long discussion because I kept you really long the last 2 weeks and I'm conscious that it's the long weekend. So you're going to go and want to spend some time with your families. But a topic that comes up over and over again for weight loss is hunger levels. So let's address that tonight. I'm going to ask you a question. How many times have you tried to lose weight, but hunger just got in the way? Now, for example, you might reduce your calories or go on more walks, do more cardio, go to the gym, whatever it is, right? That's what you're meant to do, isn't it, really? But you get to sort of day 3, day 4, maybe even a little bit later, and the hunger levels are just too much to bear. You're tired, you're lethargic, you're grumpy. We all know how grumpy we get when we're hangry, as we call it in our house, and you're downright miserable. So you give in. You decide it's not worth it, or you decide an extra little bit won't hurt because I'm starving hungry, so it mustn't be making a difference. But when that happens, we don't actually always jump into healthy foods. We actually just binge eat on whatever it is that we've been restricting ourselves, okay? Hands up, guys, if that's ever been you. So at a very basic level, hunger is just a sign that your body needs fuel. So technically, this is when your body is going to start burning fat for fuel because you're not giving it food, right? It's not a bad thing to be hungry, okay? It's a good thing because it means your body doesn't have enough calories and it's going to start to burn your body fat. So a healthy level of hunger is actually a really good thing. But there's always a but with me, isn't there? I like to give you both sides of the argument. Being starving hungry to the point of exhaustion, to the point of lethargy, to the point of grumpiness is not necessary. More hunger does not necessarily equate to more body fat burned. Sorry, ladies. If you are eating so low a number of calories that you're ravenously hungry, and you're feeling ill, then your body is actually gone into survival mode and you will actually shed water and muscle as well as fat. Now, water's an okay thing to lose. We know that. Water comes off pretty quick. Muscle, though, is not okay. Okay? Ideally, you want to be burning just body fat if you can. Remember that muscle is a fat burning mechanism of its own. So you want more muscle to help burn the body fat. So how much hunger is too much hunger? It's relative. But let me be very, very clear on something. There is no need to be so hungry that you can't focus or that you can't function. If that's the case, your calories are too low or you've been too long without food. It's that simple. A small amount of hunger when you are nearing your next meal is fine, totally normal, totally manageable. You can either eat your meal a little bit earlier or you can just have a glass of water to tide you over to when you're supposed to be eating. If you are hungry after your meal, and I mean like actually hungry, not just looking for snacks because that's how you've been conditioned, looking for something sweet. But if you are still really hungry after your meal, not a good thing. Clearly there wasn't enough protein in the meal, but maybe even if there was enough protein, maybe you need to load up on things that are really low in calories, like the free vegetables, the ones that are predominantly filled just with fiber and therefore don't really count to the calorie balance, but they will have you feeling really full. Okay, so maybe if you're hungry after a meal, you need to reevaluate what was in the meal. So for example, you might have 750 calories worth of McDonald's. You might have a cheeseburger and some fries, and you've eaten lots of calories, but you're still hungry. And that's because they're empty calories. There's not really anything in that is nutritious, okay, and that's going to fill you up. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Of course, if you are so hungry and you can't bear it, keep in mind those free veggies can be eaten at any time. And when I say free veggies, guys, they're the ones that we talk about on our shred programs. You can have them raw, you can have them cooked in different ways that don't include oil and butter. Okay, remember that. They're not free once you add oil and butter. But if what I'm trying to say is there are plenty of things to eat so that you're not going to be starving hungry, but you're also not going to sabotage your weight loss issues. So, when can you expect great amounts of hunger? Pretty much the only time that I would say it's okay to feel extreme hunger, to that point where you're exhausted or you're really tired and you can't focus, is because you are on really low calories and doing excessive amounts of cardio because you are 1 to 3 weeks out from a bodybuilding show. Hands up if that's you. Hands up if that's been you. Hands up if that's going to be you in the next 6 months. I'm going to guess that's not many on this group because that bodybuilding prep is phenomenally hard, okay? You are on the last bit of that shred phase and aiming for extremely low body fat levels before you hop up there on stage and ideally win. I'm going to say it's no one in this group. I don't think so. Which means, what does that mean? It means that you should not be feeling extreme hunger at all. You should not be feeling that. Ladies, I'm going to say it again. There is no need for you to drop your calories stupidly low to lose body fat. It just is not necessary, nor is it conducive to good health, good physical health, good mental health, or the ability to see that journey all the way through to the end and reach your goal. Okay, if you are experiencing excessive amounts of hunger, you are not going to stick at your goal. You're not going to stick at whatever program you're doing, and you are not going to see the results that you want. It's one of the biggest reasons people give up. 1,500 calories. You know this, I'm preaching to the converted, but I'm going to say it again because we do have a lot of newbies in this group. 1,500 calories is the lowest that you should go for any real length of time. Less than that can be done for a shred for up to maybe 4 weeks if you are seriously doing a hardcore shred. But even then, it is carefully calculated with high amounts of protein, good whole grain carbs, healthy fats to keep your hormones balanced, and loads of foods that are going to fill you up and keep you from feeling starving hungry. So if you are going to go that low, it has to be carefully calculated so that you don't get those excessive hunger symptoms and you can still function and meet your goals. And yes, that is what we do on our shreds, on our 8-week programs, on our summer shred coming up, if you were just wondering. So how do you lose a really good amount of weight and not feel hunger pains? Is there a way? Yeah, of course there is. I kind of just gave you the answer. But I know some of you in this group are going to tell me anyway in the comments. But I'm going to give you a 3-step process right now to get you started. So step 1 is you need to work out how many calories you are eating now. And you have to be real. This exercise does not work if you pretend you're eating 1,600 calories, but really you're eating 2,200. Okay, on average, I'm talking about. Every day changes, particularly when you're not focusing on it as much. But you have to be real. If you're not going to get real with step 1, forget the rest of it, ladies. You are not in a position to be doing this exercise. You have to be ready to get real with yourself. So you need to know how many calories on average you're eating every day over the week. You can tell you over the week, and work out then how much weight you want to lose, aiming for that 0.5 kilo a week. Yeah. Number two, decide on a safe calorie balance that you can maintain for a decent amount of time, as long as possible, right? I recommend anywhere between 16 to 1800 calories. This is enough food to have you feeling full, to have you being fueled for the whole day and not putting on any weight. You should lose on that amount of calories, somewhere between 16 and 18, whichever end you're at. If you are over 80 kilos, then you are probably going to lose weight at 1800 calories every day comfortably, okay? That's just as a reference. I know for some people 1800 calories sounds really high. The only reason it sounds high is because you have been conditioned to think that 1200 calories is what you need to eat to lose weight. It is not. It is 100% not. You can do it. You could shred some epic amount of weight at 1200 calories, but you can't do it for very long. It's not sustainable for a long time. And then what happens is you put the weight back on once you've had enough of that 1200 calorie diet. All right. So anyway, let's get back to it. So for example, 16 to 1800 calories. If you are over 80 kilos, you should be able to comfortably lose weight sitting at 1800 calories for a long time. Okay. Once you sort of get down below the 80 mark, you might need to tweak it a little bit. And then what you do is you stay at that calorie mark. So you pick one as high in that bracket as you can. You stay there for 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. And then decide what's happening. What is happening there? If you're not losing weight and you are definitely eating 1800 calories, then you might drop to 1750 for a couple of weeks and see what happens. Okay, and then when you stop losing weight at 1750, you can drop a little bit more if you want to. All right, but you have to actually physically be not dropping weight for 2 or 3 weeks in a row, not just 1 week, because ladies, we know what our hormone fluctuations do to the scale number. All right, so as long as you're not starving hungry, on whatever calorie balance you're doing, you'll be fine. You'll be able to stay there long term. Number 3. So number 2 was deciding on a safe calorie balance. Number 3 is increase your movement. Look, we all know the basics of weight loss, and they are to eat less and move more. It is basic science, but you don't always have to do them at the same time. And if you had to pick one, either eat less food or work or increase your steps, I want to know, tell me in the comments, which one would you pick? You can only pick one. Which one would you pick? To eat less food or to move your body more each day? For me, it's an absolute no-brainer. I would 100% pick moving my body more because I love food. I was having this discussion with he's not my trainer at the moment, but he's my trainer, today about, going on stage and prepping for a comp. And the reality is I like my food too much. I really do love my food too much. So it might not ever be a thing for me. All right. Because you have to really be disciplined with food for that. But for me, it would definitely be increase my exercise because I love food. I hate the thought of being restricted on what foods I can eat. And if you tell me that I can't have chocolate or I'm not having, carbs, or not having carbs, but not having fresh bread or anything like that, if it's in front of me, I want it. And it's all I think about. That's just me, right? That's the way I'm made up. So before you decide that you are not losing enough weight for your liking and you go and slash your calories, I would actually make the decision to stay eating at the calories that you're eating at. So let's say you're eating at that 1750 mark and you have 3 weeks in a row where your weight doesn't really change at all. You're not losing 0.5 kilo a week or anything like that. Rather than slash your calories, I would actually stay at the 1750 calories, but move more, okay? Do an extra 20-minute walk or 30-minute walk each day or 4 or 5 times a week. Maybe you want to try a gym class. Maybe you want to go for a ride on the bike. Maybe you want to go for a swim. Maybe you simply use the stairs at work instead of the lift, okay? And just see what that increase in exercise does for that weight loss when you haven't changed your food. Guys, the ultimate goal for being healthy is to eat as much good food as you possibly can, right? And still be losing weight. That is what is going to make it manageable. If you get to the point where you are running, like you feel like you're doing too much exercise, then that's where you need to find a balance. But I can pretty much guarantee that's not most people in this group. All right. So simply increasing your step count will actually make that gap between calories in and calories out much bigger without you having to sacrifice on food and to feel those hunger pains. Now, obviously, if you want to lose weight faster because maybe you're impatient, maybe you've got an event coming up, then you can do both at the same time. You can reduce your calories and you can increase your exercise, and that'll make that gap bigger. Just make sure you do it safely, please. But what I want you to do know is that there is always an alternative to feeling hungry when you are losing weight. Just because you're not hungry doesn't mean it's not working. And for the majority of the population, hunger levels don't even really need to come into the equation if you're doing it properly. So if I'm going to be brutally honest, if you are having trouble losing weight because you are starving hungry, you're doing it wrong. I'm sorry, that came out really bluntly. But it's kind of true. You've found a strategy that is not conducive to what your body needs, and that might mean you have to explore something else. So how do you do it right instead of doing it wrong? I wouldn't just say that to you and then leave you to figure it out. Of course, I'm going to give you the answer. Why not? You need to eat foods that are healthy. You need to eat foods that are filled with protein, that are natural whole grain carbs, and you need to learn to love those foods that have low calories but are super filling, especially those free foods that we talk about on our 8-week challenges. They are the key to getting you results. And yes, that's exactly how our Inner Fit programs are designed. All of them, whether you're doing a shred, whether you're doing the Meno Belly, the gut health, whatever it is. In fact, the gut health isn't even a weight loss program, but you still lose weight on it. So on our upcoming summer shred, there is no reason why you should be starving hungry at all. Zero reason, even when we hit the lower calories towards the end. We give you the recipes to cook the free foods in so many different ways that you cannot get bored. Maybe though, if you are running hard for the $1,000 prize money, you might be a little bit hungry in the last week because you are racking up those steps and smashing those workouts. But ladies, realistically, starving hungry is not on the menu for our Inner Fit Summer Shred. But epic results are. They totally are. And I'm so excited to see the results that come out of this summer shred. But just so you know, it is going to be our last shred for a while. It's going to be our last one for a while. It's not just the last one for the year. We're not going to do one for a little while. So if you know that you are going to want a program that is good for summer, that has summer foods and all those sorts of things to carry you through, it's probably a really good idea to get it. Let me know, guys, if you've got any questions. Put them in the comments below. Even though I'm not live, I'm going to come back and answer them as I always do. I'll answer the comments. But while I've got you and we are talking about step counts, our step challenge is totally available to join if you're not on the summer shred. You don't have to be doing both, okay? So if you are someone who's just thinking, I'm not ready for the nutrition part, but I do need something to push me with my steps, to get moving, to get out in the sunshine, I need some motivation. Guys, we would love you just to jump on board with the step challenge because we are trying to raise as much money as we possibly can for Farah Australia. As you may have heard in my live, their entire funding for research comes from donations that people give them. They don't come from the government. And I have seen them work some absolute miracles, near miracles in the last 5 years with a beautiful friend of mine. They are on the verge of breakthroughs. So what we really want to do is be able to donate as much to them as we possibly can. So if you want not only to help them out, but if you know that you need some more motivation for increasing your step count before Christmas, jump on the Inner Fit Step Challenges on our website. Go to products, and then it's there. I might put a link up in the group. And who knows, you could even win yourself some prizes. You could win yourself some weight loss too if you want to. You'll definitely get more energy. You'll definitely get better sleep. It's a win-win, and it's only $9.99. Like, it's not much at all, and it's pretty much a donation to charity. All right, so that is enough from me. 2 things you need to do if you are wanting to lose weight but not be starving hungry. Find that safe calorie balance that you can work out that is not below 1,500. If you want some ideas, jump on the summer shred, because we've got loads of ideas on there for you. And number 2, increase your daily exercise, because that won't really affect your hunger levels because your food isn't changing. And if you need motivation with that, jump on our Inner Fit Step Challenge. All right, ladies, go forth. Have an amazing Monday tomorrow, Monday off. I hope you've got it off. And don't forget to grab your spot on the Summer Shred or the Step Challenge. Have a great week, guys. Bye.